Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Lockdown lifted. Police have concluded the search for a gun on campus. What we're learning from Riverside High School.
And it's a weather alert day for Sunday. Widespread rain and storms. I'll have the timeline and when this arrives into your area coming up.
Also, this crash killed 3 men. What is left on Kennebec Road this afternoon after that crash happened this morning? We'll welcome you in this noon and a good afternoon to you here on a Friday. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Thanks for joining us. We want to take you right to that breaking news in Durham.
WRAL's Monica Casey is at Riverside High School right now. That school lockdown just cleared in the last hour. Monica, the sheriff's office says police were there searching for a gun on campus.
Yeah, Jeff, that's right. Right now, we know Durham police have cleared the lockdown that was happening over at this school for about an hour. And the sheriff's office says they were here searching for a possible gun. Sky 5 flew over this scene. You can see this school is set back a bit from the road, but law enforcement were lining the road, leading the whole way into the school. When we got here, there was also a line of cars of students outside waiting to get into school after missing first period. They told me there was another lockdown here last semester, and they are frustrated that this keeps happening.
It's like crazy to me. Like, I don't like, it's crazy how we can't even be safe at school anymore, and like with all these threats and stuff. And like, it's like taking our time from like our studies and stuff like that.
Now, this school already has an early dismissal on the schedule today, so this lockdown cut down the learning time even more. You can see in this video just how large the law enforcement presence was here with both DPD and the sheriff's deputies investigating. Right now, we are working to learn whether anyone was taken into custody here at the school, along with if anyone is facing any charges in this situation. We will keep you updated. Live in Durham, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
We see right there in Monica's shot this afternoon, sunshine. It is a welcome sight, certainly. But we do want to tell you about an unsettled weekend on the way. Sunday's a WRAL Weather Alert Day.
Yeah, so the rain will make a return. Meteorologist Amy Wilmoth is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with a look at our chance for severe storms.
Yeah, that chance is looking likely on Sunday, at least for some of us. And I'll show you the map in just a moment. But enjoy today, the nice dry weather. Get outside while you can. We're back to rain tomorrow, 70% chance. It's a 90% chance Sunday. And Sunday comes with the threat for some severe storms, some strong gusty winds. This is the timeline for rain on Saturday. So if you want to get outside over the weekend, you'll probably want to do it the first half of Saturday. Maybe take the dog for the walk or get the kids to the park. Rain becomes more likely the second half of the day on Saturday. No worries about severe weather on Saturday. Sunday, we have the chance for severe weather. That's why we have the weather alert day in place. It's from Wake County and points to the east and south under a level 1 risk. The biggest threat will be some strong damaging winds as this cold front arrives. So this is the storm timeline for Sunday. Early in the morning, 6 a.m., we'll have some scattered showers. At 7 a.m., our rain and storm chances go up. I think our highest chance for storms and some strong gusty winds will be from 8 a.m. until around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And we could have some damaging winds that lead to some power outages. I'll have more on this with Futurecast, plus wintry weather possible next week. I'll have more on that coming up.
This morning, we are learning of immigration operations in a Triangle neighborhood. This video was recorded by neighbors yesterday morning. 3 men were detained by Immigration and Customs agents on Farthing Street in Durham. U.S. Customs and Border Protection have confirmed this was a targeted operation. Neighbors first saw the officers circling that area in the morning before stopping the men and putting them in handcuffs.
I think it's just insane to watch your neighbors get plucked out of thin air during the middle of the day. That's not normal.
And neighbors tell us the 3 men were from India. U.S. Customs say the men are currently being held at a federal detention facility pending deportation hearings.
The Trump administration began its sweeping layoffs of probationary federal workers yesterday. The move could affect hundreds of thousands of workers, according to data from the Office of Personnel Management. Employees who have probationary status have typically been with the federal government for only 1 or 2 years.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, we're following some breaking news out of Russia. A 28-year-old U.S. citizen has been detained at an airport there in Moscow for having cannabis-laced marmalade. Authorities have opened a criminal case against him with a possible penalty ranging from 5 to 10 years in prison and also a fine of up to $10,000. The man was stopped at the airport. He was on his way back from Istanbul. A drug-sniffing dog flagged one of his bags, and that's when they found the cannabis-laced marmalade. Inspectors also found a Ziploc with candy in it as well.
Michelle, thanks. Republican senators are falling in line behind President Donald Trump's cabinet picks. A final confirmation vote for President Trump's nominee for FBI Director Kash Patel will likely happen next week. Patel was advanced by a Senate committee yesterday, despite concerns from Democrats who have said he is unfit to lead that bureau. The Senate confirmed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Secretary of Health and Human Services yesterday. Former Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell was the only Republican to vote against him. Meanwhile, Tulsi Gabbard was also confirmed this week as the next Director of National Intelligence.
The family of the man who a Harnett County Sheriff's deputy shot and killed says excessive force was used. Family members say 31-year-old Leo Reeves was having a mental health crisis on Wednesday when his girlfriend called 911. Deputies were called to Neals Creek Road in Lillington. And when they arrived, they say Reeves had a knife and he was not responding to their effort to de-escalate the situation. The deputy involved, Calvin Johnson, has 11 years of law enforcement experience.
Now my two children have to grow up without a father. And so such a permanent decision was made based off of a temporary situation.
Deputy Johnson's patrol car has a dash camera inside, but he was not wearing a body camera. The Harnett County Sheriff's Office is in the process of issuing these cameras.
Voting on whether to unionize ends tomorrow for Garner Amazon employees. The National Labor Relations Board has been overseeing a 6-day vote, with those votes due to be continued tomorrow. Now, if the workers do vote yes, the facility in Garner would only be the second in the nation with employees choosing union representation.
And here's a look at the stock markets right now. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 80 points. The other indices staying flat at this hour.
This Valentine's Day, local florists are preparing for their busiest day of the year. Across the country, people are expecting to spend big money on Valentine's Day. And WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains North Carolinians may spend just a little less on their lover than other states.
GCG Flower and Plant Design is preparing to send out hundreds of orders today. You can see some of those orders here. Their staff is hard at work to make sure that they're prepared for every flower shop's Super Bowl. The National Retail Federation estimates consumers will spend $2.9 billion on Valentine's Day flowers this year. But North Carolinians may spend less than the average American. A survey shows the average cost of a dozen roses in North Carolina is just below $80. That's $10 less than the national average. Owner Scott Frederick says they've sold anywhere between 300 and 400 orders this week.
We're super grateful for everybody that supports our local flower shop. They're the great community, and the people in Cary are wonderful.
And I've discovered that this is one of my favorite flowers in the shop. This is the Pink Floyd. It's named after the band. The band actually owns the rights to this flower, but you can buy these flowers or any other flowers that you want here at GCG today. They do accept walk-ins for anyone who's trying to shop at the last minute. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Cary.
Chapel Hill leaders have launched a new tool to address affordable housing. The town, UNC Health, and Self-Help Ventures have partnered to launch a $20 million affordable housing loan fund. Developers will be able to apply for below-market loans to help create and preserve housing. The town expects to see 600 housing units over the next 20 years. Self-Help Ventures will administer the loans.
Surprise Patrol is honoring teachers. They started this morning at Athens Drive Magnet High School. Diane Kent Parker was given a first-year Teacher of the Year award. Way School superintendent was there to drop in with a surprise for Miss Kent Parker to celebrate her work, and she shared how much it means to her.
It is amazing to have so much support and encouragement from staff, and especially the superintendent. I I try my best, and it's nice to know that that's pretty good. And I really am so thankful to get to work with them. I wouldn't be able to be as great as I am without it.
And 2 other first-year teachers in Wake County will receive a similar celebration today. Next at noon, new video and a message from former Hamas captive and Chapel Hill native Keith Siegel.
Also, from wildfires to mudslides, the new problems for people in Southern California.
Plus a sign of progress, the Asheville community staple reopening today after Helene flooding.
Israeli hostages are reportedly being released by Hamas tomorrow. Israeli officials say the 3 men are Israeli-Argentinian Ayer Horn, Israel-Russian Alexander Trufanov, and Israeli-American Sagi Dekelchen. They are from the same communal farm. Around 80 of the nearly 400 residents of the farm were taken hostage in the October 7th attack. This will be the 6th release of Israeli hostages since the ceasefire took effect. Today, we are hearing from former Hamas hostage Keith Siegel for the first time in his own words. In a video posted to social media, Siegel urges President Trump to use his influence to free all of the hostages. WRAL's Ken Smith is here now with more on what Siegel said in that brief 2-minute video. Ken.
You know, Renee, along with urging President Trump to use his influence, Siegel also thanked him and lauded the president's leadership for his release. Now, in that video, it appears Siegel is reading from a prepared script. He spent several days in an Israeli hospital since being released on February 1st as part of that ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. During that 2-minute video, Siegel described the deplorable conditions in which he lived while in captivity.
When I was in Gaza, I lived in constant fear for my life and for my personal safety. I was starved and tortured, both physically and emotionally. And when the war intensified, the terrorists who held me treated me even worse than usual.
Well, this is video of Siegel when he was released a couple of weeks ago. He called on President Trump to make sure the ceasefire agreement remains intact so that the remaining hostages can be returned to their families. Now, based on the numbers released by the Israel Defense Forces, minus the 3 who are supposed to be released tomorrow, 73 hostages remain in Gaza.
Ken, thanks for that. Pope Francis is in the hospital getting treatment for bronchitis. The Pope was diagnosed last week, but continued to hold daily audiences and preside over general audiences. In addition to treatment for bronchitis, the Holy Father will undergo some necessary diagnostic tests. This is the latest in a string of ailments that have plagued the 88-year-old pontiff.
Some of the same Los Angeles area residents recovering from wildfires are now dealing with mudslides. Amy Kiley reports on the latest natural disaster in Southern California.
We have fires all the time, we have mudslides, but nothing as apocalyptic as this.
After mudslides and floods last night comes the cleanup in Southern California.
We are finally starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. The storm system responsible for the atmospheric river moving on.
Meteorologists say barren burn scars left over from recent wildfires were no match for the torrential rain.
Fire came right down here about 25 feet away from our house.
Officials say mudslides closed part of the Pacific Coast Highway yesterday. The famous Duke's restaurant is among the spots affected. And here's a look at an earlier daytime mudslide on the same road. Officials also say a debris flow in the Hollywood Hills dumped around 8 inches of mud on Mulholland Drive. In Malibu, police say another one pushed this car into the ocean. As for homeowners,
If anything comes down from the hill that makes it over our area, then that's my history.
officials say multiple counties were under evacuation warnings and orders. Sandbags and barriers remaining behind in an effort to protect homes.
There's a tremendous amount of burn scar above us, way more than we've ever had in any previous fire. It's got nowhere to go than to come down.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
What a situation there. A grand reopening for the people of Asheville today as Walmart is returning to the community after months after Hurricane Helene. Walmarts across western North Carolina suffered much damage from the storm. This is video of the flooding inside Walmart in Boone. This morning, a ribbon-cutting ceremony will welcome shoppers back to the store on Bleachery Boulevard. Apparel, electronics, toys, pharmacy, and dry grocery departments are all available starting today. A full reopening is scheduled for later in the spring.
And today we are asking you to send us your Valentine's Day photos. We would love to see them, so you can share them right now by scanning the QR code on your screen or head to WRAL.com/yourvoice. And if you get some in, maybe we'll show some before the end of this newscast.
Hey, if we don't, we're just going to show those intensive care unit babies because they are the cutest.
Right? Oh, adorable. Or we'll just keep showing you the sunshine because this is a sight to see, isn't it, Amy?
That's right. We've missed the sunshine. It's been so gloomy with rain every day this week, so it's nice to have at least one day with a break from the rain before it returns tomorrow. This is a live look at Cary at the downtown Cary Park. A beautiful day with lots of sunshine, but it is chilly. Temperatures are still in the 40s across the area. 45 in Raleigh, it's 45 in Rocky Mount, 47 right now in Fayetteville. So definitely a chilly Valentine's Day, but thankful that we have the sunshine. The high temperature today, 49 degrees. So we have sunshine. It's on the cool side with temperatures below normal. If you're headed out for date night tonight, bundle up. Temperatures will be chilly. We'll be in the upper 30s by 8 p.m., back down into the mid 30s around 10, 11 o'clock tonight. But at least it stays dry through the day and through the night tonight. And then we have some rain and storm chances for the upcoming weekend. Sunday will be the bigger impact day. The timing for the storms on Sunday, it's a weather alert day, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's the greatest threat for severe storms with some damaging winds and some heavy rain. There is a level 1 risk for severe storms for some of you. It's Wake County and points to the east and south. Damaging winds, heavy rain will be the biggest threats. Some of those winds could cause some power outages, taking some trees down, and I'll have more on the wind gust potential in the next half hour. This is a look at Futurecast. We'll walk you through your weekend hour by hour so you can plan out your weekend. If you want to get outside, you'll probably want to do that the first half of the day. Saturday, this is 9 a.m., just a slim chance for a shower. And then as we get into the afternoon and evening, it's fairly scattered, so it's not an all-day thing, but we will have a better chance for scattered showers the second half of the day on Saturday. Sunday, this is Sunday morning at 7 a.m., so we're mainly dry, just a slim chance for rain, but this is the area where we're going to watch for severe storms, and we'll have somebody staffing the Weather Center the entire day on Sunday, monitoring radar and any reports we get from perhaps some trees down and some power outages. 8:30 in the morning, this is where the band of storms could be in the western part of our viewing area. By the time we get to 9:30, moving through the central part of the viewing area, including Wake County. And then by the time we get to 11 a.m., it's the eastern half of the viewing area that has the best chance for some of those severe storms. And then once the front moves through, the severe threat will end, but we'll still have the chance for some scattered showers the second half of the day as well. The severe risk for Sunday, it's a level 1 risk. It's from Wake County and points to the east and points to the south. Fayetteville, you're included in that. All of Cumberland County included in that as well. And then once we get through the weekend, it's fairly quiet Monday and Tuesday, but look at what could happen next week. This is Wednesday into Thursday. We have fairly good agreement from models that we'll have some kind of wintry precipitation. This is a look at one model very late Wednesday night into early Thursday, showing a little bit of a wintry mix in our area. This is a look at another model showing a better chance for some snow in northern counties, still a wintry mix. We will keep you posted on this and let you know. We'll have a clearer picture as we get a little bit closer. But right now, it does look like we could have some winter weather next week. Pretty active weather this weekend, quiet Monday and Tuesday. And then again, it's going to be cold with a chance for some snow mixed with freezing rain Wednesday and Thursday.
Thanks, Amy. Well, ahead on our evening news, the practice that puts PFAS in your grocery cart. New research says the sewage farmers use to fertilize crops is introducing forever chemicals into our food. Today at 4, how that works and what it would take to stop the practice.
Then at 5:30, a family's fight for justice. The autopsy is out for Amaria Smith, a college student found in the trunk of a car. And the new information it reveals and her family's reaction. And still ahead this noon, TikTok is back. You can once again download the video sharing app. Ahead, the timeline for its next possible shutdown.
And Valentine's romance scams. The warning from Meta about love that could be too good to be true.
5 on your side is monitoring your consumer news. Another drop in mortgage rates this week, and TikTok is back in app stores. Those are among today's business headlines with Maribel Aber.
TikTok is back in the app stores of Apple and Google. The app returned late yesterday, nearly a month after it was removed, to comply with a new U.S. law. President Trump had paused the enforcement of the law and is trying to work out a deal to keep TikTok available in the U.S. Despite that, Apple and Google hadn't restored the app due to the potential legal consequences while a deal is being worked out. The Wall Street Journal reports Apple decided to bring TikTok back yesterday after receiving a letter from new U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi. Americans' household debt has hit a new record high. Debt from credit cards, mortgages, auto and student loans has hit $18.04 trillion. That's according to a report from the New York Federal Reserve. It says debt grew by $93 billion in the last 3 months of 2024. About half of that increase came from new credit card debt. Overall, Americans' credit balances are now at a record high of $1.21 trillion. Mortgage rates have dropped for a fourth straight week. The average rate on a 30-year fixed loan is now 6.87%. That's according to Freddie Mac. That's down slightly from a year ago, but it's still above where rates were last year at this time when they averaged 6.77%. Rates have been lingering around 7% so far this year. That, along with high home prices and limited inventory, have slowed the housing market. And those are your business headlines. I'm Maribel Aber at the NASDAQ market site.
Jeff Bezos' rocket company, Blue Origin, is laying off more than 1,000 employees. That's about 10% of its workforce. The cuts will affect engineers, researchers, developers, and management. This year, Blue Origin is planning to ramp up manufacturing and increase the pace the company launches rockets. About a month ago, the company launched its first orbital rocket called New Glenn. Meta is warning hopeful romantics to be aware of scams this Valentine's Day. Meta says scammers often pretend to be famous celebrities or U.S. military members. The company says scammers appear like they want love, but eventually ask for gift cards, crypto, and other forms of payment. Meta has taken down more than 115,000 accounts on Facebook and Instagram linked to romance scams this year.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, a wild story out of Beaufort County where 148 pounds of crystal meth was seized. Take a look at these pictures from the sheriff's office. On Wednesday, they conducted a follow-up investigation following an arrest they made in Pitt County back in January. This new information led them to a location to inspect several pallets of stone landscape pavers. A canine was used in the investigation. The canine was able to sniff out the drugs. Take a look at this. This is what they found, the crystal meth encased in those concrete pavers. Crystal meth was found in 84 of those stone pavers. They have not released the names of the suspects that were arrested.
What a find, huh? A deadly crash in Wake County. 3 men were killed after a car hit a pole on Kennebec Road. We'll tell you what troopers say led up to that crash.
And a drone strikes Chernobyl, where blame is being assigned and what Russia has said about the attack.
And here are your winning NC Education lottery numbers on your screen right now on this Friday. Renee and I will be right back.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your #1 source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Durham police say 5 teenagers are responsible for a series of car break-ins. 296 juvenile petitions have been filed. The break-ins happened in different parts of the city between December 2024 and mid-January 2025. Police say they stole firearms, credit cards, and other things. 2 of the teenagers linked to the break-ins were already taken into custody after leading troopers on a chase. That was near Chapel Hill when they fired at the trooper.
We're learning more about 3 people who died in a crash this morning. 30-year-old Omar Pizana Sanchez, 26-year-old Ernesto Pina Esparza, and 27-year-old Pablo Rangel were in the car during the crash. WRAL's Eric Miller shows the scene where that crash took place and where the investigation stands so far.
This right here, this is where this crash happened off of Kennebec Road, just past Bud Lipscomb Road. State Highway Patrol saying this vehicle came flying off the left shoulder, slammed into one tree, dug into the dirt here before spinning end over end. You take a look at this video here, you get a sense just how large this police presence was. Troopers and investigators out here for more than 5 hours piecing together what exactly happened here. They tell us 2 people inside this vehicle were not wearing a seatbelt. They were thrown clear. One person inside was wearing their seatbelt, but still all 3 were killed in this crash. State Highway Patrol are continuing to investigate here, but they say as of right now, speed and alcohol are both believed to be behind this crash. In Southern Wake County, Eric Miller, WRAL News.
A suspected Venezuelan gang member was arrested in Raleigh. Ricardo Granadillo Padilla was wanted for federal charges for illegally entering the U.S. ICE agents arrested him over the weekend. He was found with a handgun and ammunition. 10 other people from Venezuela who are here illegally as well were also found. They also say Granadillo Padilla is a member, suspected member anyway, of the Tren de Aragua gang, and his arrest comes just days before, I should say, federal authorities announced a new initiative to crack down on that gang.
They have spread out across the globe, primarily in South America, up through Panama, through Mexico, into the U.S. This sort of nationwide focus on Tren de Aragua is very, very appropriate.
Authorities also named him a suspect in a mass shooting in Chicago, and he is being held at the Wake County Detention Center right now.
A federal judge has put a pause on the President Trump's freeze on foreign aid. The judge's order mandates a revival of a flow of money to contracts, grants, and loans in place at the end of the Biden administration. A judge has also extended a hold on the Trump administration's dismantling of USAID for another week. The judge said he will keep a court order in place until February 21st. It reinstates USAID workers the administration previously placed on paid leave and blocks the administration from taking further action that could hurt the workers.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says a Russian drone hit a nuclear power plant at Chernobyl last night. This video shows the moment the drone hit the dome covering the destroyed power plant. Zelensky and the UN Atomic Agency say radiation levels do not appear to have increased. Zelensky also says the drone was carrying a high explosive warhead. A Kremlin spokesman has denied claims that Russia was responsible for that strike.
The White House is making a major push to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. President Trump has spoken to the leaders of both countries, and today the vice president will sit down with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Doug Luzader has details from Washington.
Vice President J.D. Vance arrives in a snowy Germany for the Munich Security Conference this morning, sitting down with NATO's Secretary General.
We're going to talk, of course, about the Ukraine-Russia conflict and how to bring it to a negotiated settlement.
Later in the day, Vance will meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and the message may be tough.
We would have Ukraine, we would have Russia, and we'll have other people involved.
President Trump has spoken about forging ahead with peace talks, but as the war in Ukraine rages on, there's already been a big concession to Russia. The U.S. does not see Ukraine joining NATO.
I don't see any way that a country in Russia's position could allow them, just in their position, could allow them to join NATO. I don't see that happening.
That's a critical issue for Ukraine, which has always envisioned NATO membership as a way to ward off further Russian aggression. And critics have accused the administration of taking sides.
Trump and Hegseth literally appeared to be negotiating on behalf of Putin.
But on the other hand, the vice president told the Wall Street Journal that U.S. military options are on the table if Russia refuses to agree to a deal.
It's a push and a pull, and it is designed to get Putin to stop the war.
And that was Doug Luzader reporting.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, Fort Liberty is back to Fort Bragg, effective immediately. We just got that press release into the newsroom. And the renaming honors the legacy of World War II hero Private First Class Roland L. Bragg and all soldiers and families who have called Fort Bragg home. The renaming process will include updating all of the official documentation, the signage, and the digital platforms in a deliberate and phased manner. So it'll be in phases. An official ceremony, they say, will take place in the very near future.
Thanks, Michelle. Our county-by-county coverage takes us to Johnston, Orange, and Vance counties.
We start in Johnston County, where Johnston Community College partnered with Food Bank of Central Eastern North Carolina. This picture shows staff opening their first shipment from the food bank. The partnership will allow the community college to better support students who are experiencing food insecurity and to address hunger on campus.
Meantime, in Orange County, a historical marker will be unveiled. The monument will honor Daniel Washington and Thomas Jefferson Morrow. The three black men were victims of racial terror lynching in 1869. The unveiling ceremony is tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Orange County Historic Courthouse in Hillsborough.
And in Vance County, more pathways to university education. Despite being more than 300 miles apart, Vance, Granville Community College and Western Carolina University are closer than ever. This is because of a new agreement between the schools. Students at the community college who meet certain requirements are now guaranteed acceptance to Western Carolina.
Another legal block, but what's next for the president's executive order banning medical intervention for transgender children?
Relationships are key to a happy life, and not just romantic ones. Simple ways to keep those relationships healthy and thriving.
A federal judge blocked President Donald Trump's executive orders banning medical intervention for transgender children. Judge Brendan Herson ruled that abruptly stopping gender-affirming care would be horribly dangerous. Some health systems will resume providing gender-affirming care that was paused under the executive order. The Trump administration is expected to appeal this decision.
If your child plays a team sport, you may be glad to hear they could be improving brain health, too. A recent study found children who play team sports seem to have better memory, focus, adaptability, and emotional control. Sports psychologists also say sports are shown to reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. Despite this, researchers from the study noted 70% of children in the U.S. stop playing sports by the time they're 13.
Valentine's Day often focuses on the importance of two people in a romantic relationship, but researchers say it is just as important to focus on our other relationships today.
Social connections are critically important for us. They help us live happy, healthy, and longer lives.
Yeah, the longest study on human longevity points to relationships being more important than nutrition and exercise for improving quality of life. Those researchers recommend making simple gestures to keep those relationships healthy this season, like sending a text message or setting up a lunch date.
Shutting the doors. Downtown Raleigh is losing another local business. Hear from neighboring business owners about the loss on their street.
Also, a Super Bowl celebration, the festivities in Philadelphia to honor the Eagles' big win. One of Raleigh's first and longest standing LGBTQ businesses, the Green Monkey there, is closing its doors after 12 years. The shop on Wilmington Street sells gifts, souvenirs, and drinks. The store's owners released a statement explaining their decision to close as a brick and mortar shop and instead move operations online. Other shop owners in the area tell us they hope a new business is able to thrive in its place.
Of course, you don't want businesses to close down, especially our neighbors. Something that I feel like is not talked enough about, though, is all the businesses that opened last year. And I feel like Raleigh is really finally starting to recover since COVID.
And shop owners tell us more events coming to the downtown area would help businesses stay open. The last day of shopping at Green Monkey will be March 15th.
Pride in the Bull City's culture. That's the goal of the new Love Durham campaign. More than 150 businesses are taking part in this initiative created by Discover Durham and Downtown Durham, Inc. They offer discounts for customers wearing a Love Durham pin. There's also a smartphone app-based challenge where you can win prizes for checking into different places. The initiative runs through April.
Tonight on WRAL, it's an all-new 2-hour episode of Dateline featuring the Susan Smith case. 30 years ago, she claimed her 2 young sons were taken during a carjacking, initiating a nationwide manhunt. Smith's frantic calls for help turned out to be a lie. She was convicted of killing them by rolling her car into a lake with the kids strapped inside. NBC's Craig Melvin spoke with Smith's ex-husband, David, for this Dateline tonight.
The main reason he sat down with Dateline is because he wants to make sure that at no point during her natural life, Susan Smith gets out of prison. He is on a one-man crusade to make sure that doesn't happen. That was his primary motivation. In addition to remembering Michael and Alex, he wants to make sure that Susan Smith isn't able to rewrite history.
Time has not healed that wound for him. Dateline's all-new 2-hour episode, Return to the Lake, airs tonight at 9 on WRAL.
It's not only Valentine's Day that will have the city of brotherly love celebrating today. The city is throwing its Super Bowl parade and ceremony for the Philadelphia Eagles. And right now, a parade is marching from Lincoln Financial Field to the Philadelphia Museum of Art. We know fans are looking forward to cheering for quarterback Jalen Hurts, who won MVP of last Sunday's game. Look at the turnout. There will be a formal program at the museum recognizing the honor the Eagles have brought back to Philadelphia with their win.
I think Jalen Hurts should get up on those steps of the Museum of Art there, because those are the Rocky steps. Just jump around.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
You know,
looking good with that trophy with one hand.
I can hear the music now. No doubt. That is too cool. And they finally got the snow cleared away. The kids got the day off of school. I mean, it's all going in the right direction there. And for us as well, it is sunny outside. Big changes on the way this weekend, though, Amy.
That's right. Enjoy the dry time today, because we are back to rain and storms over the weekend. Nice and sunny today. This is a beautiful picture from our Dix Park camera. It's 45. Winds are out of the northeast at 7 miles per hour. So it is chilly, but at least it's dry for Valentine's Day. Here's the rest of the day's forecast for Valentine's. We'll kind of hang out in the upper 40s through the afternoon. And then for date night tonight, it's going to be chilly with temperatures in the 30s, but it stays dry all day today and all night tonight. But then tomorrow, we're back to a 70% chance for rain. Sunday, it's a weather alert day. We have a 90% chance of showers and thunderstorms. The rain could be heavy at times. We could have some very strong gusty winds as well. We've already had some rain this week, and we're going to add to those totals. This is a look at the potential totals over the weekend, anywhere from about half an inch to maybe an inch of rain, with likely the heaviest totals in the northern and northwestern part of our viewing area. And that could lead to some minor flooding in a few spots. Now, the power outage concern is really for Sunday. So through Saturday, I wouldn't expect to have strong winds that could take down trees or cause any power outages. Sunday, as the cold front arrives, we're going to have some very strong winds with the front as it arrives the first half of the day. So some scattered power outages will be possible across the area. We've already had rain this week, and we'll have another round this weekend, and that could allow some of the weaker trees to come down. They could come down on power lines, and then we're in trouble with some power outages. This is a look at the wind gust potential on Sunday, getting close to 50-mile-per-hour gusts as that front arrives the first half of the day. So very windy. Winds will be the biggest concern. And then behind the front, colder air is going to move in. The blue contours here denotes temperatures at or below freezing. And this is a look at Monday. We are back in the blue contours. Sunday is going to be in the upper 60s, so it'll be mild. You can't really enjoy it with the rain and the storms, but just know behind the front, there is some serious cold, and that's going to maybe set us up for the potential for some wintry precip for the middle and end of the week. This is a look at our chance for an inch of snow. The chance in the triangle, about a 35% chance of an inch of snow, higher percentages in the North Carolina mountains, which is certainly good for the ski resorts. We'll keep you posted and let you know how this shapes out in the coming days. But this looks like one of the events, like we could have a mix, which is very normal for our area this time of year. We get freezing rain, snow, sleet, we can get it all. And it looks like this is going to be that kind of event. So we'll get some snow perhaps, but this is a look at the potential for freezing rain. We could also have some icing, and this is going to be Wednesday into Thursday of next week. Stay tuned. We'll have a clearer picture once we get to early next week. Nice and dry today, but chilly. Then we're back to active weather over the weekend. weekend. Make some indoor plans Sunday. The timing for rain Saturday, the best chance will be the second half of the day. The timing Sunday is going to be the first half of the day. And then it's cold and quiet Monday and Tuesday, and maybe some winter weather for Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
Well, I guess we're still in February, and there's still a chance for winter weather.
It can happen, yeah.
But I love the sunshine. All right, Amy, thanks. Now, earlier we asked you to send us your Valentine's Day photos, and we appreciate the responses that we've gotten so far. Look at this, Stacy's sweet granddaughters. They're adorable.
Just hanging out up in Lewisburg. Thanks for joining in, Angie Garrett. Oh my, beautiful grandbabies. Yes, they are.
Yep, those are the cutest Valentines, I tell you. And then Alexandria and Mike, we hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day that you'll get to celebrate later
Clayton
tonight.
in the house, yeah. And Liz, the surprise delivery that made my day, also in Clayton. That
Beautiful
would make anybody's
roses,
day.
yeah, pink roses, I love them.
Way to
We'll
go.
continue to look through your photos, and be sure to share this QR code to your friends. Scan the QR code on your screen, head to WRAL.com/yourvoice, and share with us your best Valentine's Day photo. 50 years of SNL, a look ahead to tomorrow's milestone episode of Saturday Night Live.
We wrap things up with a look at a few of the headlines we are following for you today.
Durham police say 5 teenagers are responsible for a series of car break-ins. 296 juvenile petitions have been filed. The break-ins happened in different parts of the city between December 2024 and mid-January 2025. Police say they stole firearms, credit cards, and other things. 2 of the teenagers linked to the break-ins were already taken into custody after leading troopers on a chase near Chapel Hill and firing at the trooper.
3 men died this morning after a single car crash in southern Wake County. This was the scene on Kennebec Road between Willow Spring and Anger. Troopers say the driver went off the road and slammed into a tree there. 2 of the 3 men were ejected from the car. Troopers say alcohol and speed contributed to the crash.
Durham's Riverside High School was placed on lockdown this morning after someone talked about bringing a weapon to school. The Durham Sheriff's Office responded to the school around 10:30 this morning. They did a sweep of the school. No weapon was found. WRAL has learned the threat was made in a video posted on social media. The lockdown was in place for about an hour.
Saturday Night Live will return to its roots this weekend. The very first episode of the show, recorded back in 1975, will be rebroadcast as SNL celebrates its 50th season. It's all leading up to a 3-hour anniversary special this Sunday. And you can expect a star-studded lineup of celebrity guests, as well as former and current cast members. Big event streams live at 8 o'clock on WRAL.
It is time for a look at our pet of the day. This is Cal.
6-year-old Cal the cat. Valentine's Day, looking for a soulmate. Cal is sweet, loves treats, pets, and to cuddle.
Cal is the longest resident of SPCA in Wake County and requires 2 insulin shots a day. You can visit spcawake.org to learn more.
Sewage sludge, North Carolina's common practice used for fertilizer on farmland. Tonight on WRAL News at 4, how it's tainting the food on your table.
We want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. NBC News Daily is next on WRAL, your next local news update in 30 minutes.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.